and I should have learned, I wish I learned in my 20s and 30s, is that being too comfortable too soon can add to your stress down the road.
50% of people between 18 and 30 are still living with their parents right now. Is that a comfort trap or a smart financial move?
Been waiting for this one, bro.
And I should have learned, I wish I learned in my 20s and 30s, is that being too comfortable too soon can add to your stress down the road. Trying to live too comfortable at too young an age can delay some of this financial stability and financial foundation that you really should be building in your 20s and 30s, right? In our 20s and 30s, a lot of us, we're trying to get the next hot stock or the next crypto or the next big thing. But what we really should be doing is building this really strong foundation with money. And what ends up happening for a lot of us is that we end up borrowing our future peace to feel good right now in the present.
So there was something that that somebody had posted on Facebook, and it was kind of like along the same sense about being comfortable and not really doing too much during the time of your youth, and then it affecting you later on. It's essentially that idea of work hard now and play later. You're supposed to play now and then work hard later. And somebody literally drew a graph where it was like somebody was standing on, there was like a stick figure standing on top of a hill right here, and then the hill went down, and then of course the dude is like sliding down, so it's like easy. And as time progresses, the hill starts to go back up, so now he has to do the work to climb back up, and that goes towards the end of his life, signifying that you may be chilling now while things are easy, but you're not making the right decisions and living too comfortably. Then towards the end of your life, you're going to be working hard, which we see with a lot of people that have that mindset of, YOLO, or I'm going to, take these trips now while I got the chance, all this, that, and the third. But then he had that second image where it started off from the bottom, going uphill from the jump. And then eventually it curves over the hill, and then it dips down towards the rest of the life. And the homie's just easing out. That's that. To me, that's basically what homie is saying, of just being diligent in the work that you're putting in now, putting in the energy, the max amount of energy. You're at the peak of your life at this moment. Use it to create something. Use it to get ahead. Use it to have something so that you can do less and be coasting towards the end of your years, because ain't nobody want to be working when they're 60, having to wait till retirement to actually retire and stuff like that. Ain't nobody trying to do that, because that's a lot of years of working. Now, granted, because I love my field so much, I don't think that I would retire come retirement age, but I definitely will be working a lot less. I can tell you that much.
Because it's less of a need.
It's less of a need. Shoot, I'm trying to get that with YouTube right now. Get YouTube popping so that I can still do my IT work, but I ain't got to be sitting here and worried about making sure I got a check, because everything's already taken care of now. Take care of stuff now, like pay off mortgage, have no debt, constantly living below your means so that you're putting money in savings and then putting towards a Roth and stuff, and you're constantly investing into other things. Bro, you put in the hard work right now, and then by 50s, I guess in my stance, I could be coasting, not having to worry about a dang thing. And that's honestly my goal in life. To me, that's the American dream. So with that being said, what does comfort look like to your generation? Is it the apartment, the car, the clothes? What does I made it feel like?
To your point too, what you were saying, that example is exactly what he's talking about, to the T, bro. That visual example you gave, and I could see it vividly. I believe what our generation feels is comfortable is having everything paid for you, nepo babies, right? I think that's the word. It's not even the fact of having a thing at all. It's how you get it. If you didn't work for it, you don't value it as much subconsciously. And because you don't know what it's like to work for it, first of all, the hard work that it feels that it takes to do to achieve said privilege. So not only don't you know how it feels, you don't know what to do to how to do it, where to start. So, and then on top of that, the means of getting it is always temporary. Your parents aren't always going to be there for you at some point. So it's like you got to learn how to do it yourself, and the process of learning it and getting there yourself is what's not easy. That's the part that's uncomfortable, working hard. And I'm gonna bring in like another visual example, right, to show how just bringing this whole concept into that infinity symbol again. Literally, track, bro. I think I've learned this in track subconsciously. It was a concept that you just know in any kind of sport that you know subconsciously, right? And you can identify, and conversations like these is gonna bring you back, because that's what it did. There's a period in track season, bro, and in any sport, but I'm gonna speak track because that's what I did, where they call it conditioning. You know where I'm going. You know exactly where I'm going with it.
Oh God.
You know that you see the groaning, like that's social proof of how hard the term conditioning comes with, bro.
Man.
Like how hard the work is that's associated with conditioning, and why is because it prepares you essentially for the season and your competition. Mind you, the positioning of conditioning is first and not last. So if you do it in this order correctly, you're gonna coast through your season properly, and you're gonna be more successful as you do that. Now, if you do it the opposite way, which is also a path to take, right, an option, you're not gonna work these bleachers. You're gonna skip it.
Work them bleachers. Oh my.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fake. You're gonna half-ass the jog, the 1 mile jog. You know what I'm saying? The warm-ups.
Bro, the 1 mile warm-ups. Oh my God,
bro. If you don't, you know what I'm saying?
You better hit them stations and do all them.
Yeah.
lunch jumps and.
Yeah. Exactly. The stretches, the core workouts, or better yet, you skip out on conditioning and then you just finna come in the last day and get to the, you know what I'm saying? Even if you were an experienced track runner, bro, it's still not advised. Why? Because here's what's gonna happen. You didn't work as much. You coasted through conditioning, which is the first stage of your track life, your track career. Later down that lifetime of your track career, you're gonna have to end up working harder because you're lagging behind the people that worked hard. And now it's your body is not even physically conditioned, literally, or ready to take on the pressures of these meets and your races in real time. So you're working extra hard just to keep up, and you're still not succeeding.
Still not succeeding. Ugh.
It's a literal example. Like, it's the way of life. So finance, like money, is a thing that has intertwined with life. Anything that's in life flows with the flow of life. So if you want to get better at the thing, it's proven. This is what this dude is talking about. This is why it's even a topic. It has been proven by our elders and history, and even your own life, that when you work harder in the beginning, the end will be easier for you and more substantial, more successful.
Yup. Just work harder and make those big decisions. If anything, work harder, make right money moves, and live below your means. Just that alone, you should be straight. You could live off of an income under 100K, and you should be straight. Like, it's crazy, actually, now that I think about it. There was some videos where I think it was Anton Daniels. He was looking at some videos of some people that was just crashing out, talking about they could barely afford anything. This, that, and the third is tough to survive and all this stuff. I'm making over 100K and I'm still struggling. And I'm like, bro, if you're making over 100K and you live in Georgia and you're struggling, you're doing it wrong. You're doing a lot wrong, because I'm not even making over 100K. And if I could just eliminate all the consumer debt that I had, bro, I'd be coasting. So I'm like, there's no way you tell me you're making over 100K and you're struggling. Come on now.
Exactly.
Come on. Tell me that if you're in California. Okay, yeah, maybe California, maybe New York. But if you're anywhere else, bro, I don't know, man. You're not doing something right.
Yeah, that method that you stated earlier, living below your means, working extra hard, that's gonna take you a long way, bro. And yeah, bro, there's plenty of realities where if you're making 100,000 and you're still struggling, 9 times out of 10 you are doing something wrong in that formula, bro.
Something wrong.
You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say though, that 1 time out of 10, or maybe it's a little more, I think if someone gets to that point, it could be possible that they've been using the same formula that they thrived in when they were making under or a certain amount in the tax bracket. It just so happens that they didn't change up how they approach money, and now they're getting more and it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like you got to be financially literate enough or aware enough to know, and you'd have to have experience or somebody who had experience to let you know about that. I don't have no type of experience with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just theorizing, bro. But it could be a possibility, you know?
Nah, you're definitely right, because I think a lot of people, they do fall into that trap where they make do with what they got, and because they end up making more, they get a higher paying job, that they also spend more and match wherever it is that they're at. And it's like, maybe we shouldn't do that. If you make it a couple dollars more, try to put that elsewhere and still live, the way that you are. I mean, if you want to purchase some stuff, I mean, okay, yeah, that's fine, but it can't be like a consistent, and now you're getting out here getting all these subscriptions and you getting Uber Eats all the time because now you can afford it. At the same time, you got like 2 different gym memberships because your one friend group, they hoop at LA, and then your other friend group, they hoop at Lifetime, so you gotta get 2 memberships. Yeah, let's just calm down with
bro,
that type of mindset. But I don't know, it's crazy every time I think about that scenario specifically. But yeah, you're right, a lot of times it does come with that financial literacy that a lot of people just don't grow up with, and a lot of people just don't know to pay attention to. And there are those people that choose not to heed those warnings or advice, and end up in a situation where they're on TikTok and crashing out because they feel like they ain't got no money. But nah, for sure, I think the financial literacy is very important, and introducing that to the next generation is super important. The important things when it comes to life, not E equals MC square, or I don't know, trying to never mind. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I'm not gonna say it. Because I'm a coon. That's what it is.
You've been called that, bro?
Yeah, there was one person in one of my comments. They called me a coon. They called me bootlicker. They said, yeah. I know a lot of people's gotten worse, but yeah, they definitely called me that. And I'm like, I mean, all right, bro. The facts are still facts. At the end of the day, call me a bootlicker all I want, but
wait, what statement did you say that made them say that, bro?
It was in regards to one of the one of the black, the one about there was one video that I was doing a review on, and it was like a whole bunch of black men, some of them that went to the church, some of them that didn't go to church. I guess they were just talking about like the life of being black and the church as well. I think they were mainly talking about the church, and I was, of course, me being me, saying how like the African American church seems to be heavily flawed, and that kind of kicked off my journey to really understanding the plight of the African Americans and stuff, and everything that they're going through, and the, I guess, generational curse of slavery and civil rights and all that stuff, and like really try to see why is it that a whole majority, it seems like, of the African Americans can't get past that so that they can then thrive or even just do better in life because they have that hindrance still stuck in their heads. But so it was something that I was saying, I forget what it was, and there was one guy that was just saying a whole bunch of crazy nonsense. I'm just like, bro, did you even watch the whole video and hear everything that I said? Because it seems like you just took a section and literally the beginning and then just going off of that. But
bro, 9 times out of 10, that's exactly what happened, bro. No cap.
I'm coming to realize that they'll see the first couple of minutes, and then they'll just take that and run with it. And it's like, yeah, I know you didn't watch the whole video, which is fine. You came and you did your purpose. It is what it is. But yeah, man, it's crazy.
So you were, but you stopped from saying something from that to that point.
It was something about the Black American. It was something. Oh, inclusion. Yeah. The whole idea of inclusion, breaking out of that. Schools. Okay, what schools are teaching?
Yeah. Wait, what happened?
Oh, the stuff that's where I was going. Say, they need to teach more practical things like financial literacy instead of, like AE = MC² and inclusion and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. But, man, I agree with that.
Yeah, they took a completely different turn when they started including that stuff. I'm like, yo, put back penmanship. What are we really talking about?
No, facts.
What is inclusion stuff, man? Come on now.
Bro. Hey, that makes sense. Wait, but when you say inclusion, what's inclusion?
Inclusion, like making sure that everybody's in understanding of the Black history and like the LGBTQ and trans people and stuff like that, like, or the reading of LGBTQ books in elementary schools, the heavy teaching and being aware of the Black culture and the Black plight and everything that they went through. How like especially in the workplace, bro, this is the thing that kills me. In some workplaces, like they'll do trainings. I'm at work and I'm white or whatever, and I say something that offends somebody that's African American, they'll put me through like an HR training to understanding Black culture and all that stuff. I'm like, bro,
they implemented that.
They be doing that. Yeah, they'll have whole orientations in regards to understanding inclusion and understanding other people and their feelings and how they're different and people did, like we're in elementary school, and I'm like, bro, this is for real right now.
So how would you say that concept coming around impacted either development or results, or you know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. I don't see how this produces anything. I can see, and this is the part where I try to be more understanding about the topic and the whole inclusion thing. I can see the need for people to be more understanding of others. I don't think to do that is by forcing their history down my throat. Or anytime I say something that can come off as racist, now I gotta take a visit to HR or the principal's office or something like that. And now I gotta be mindful of everything that I say, because anything can be offensive. That's the other big thing, being offensive to other races, other identities. And
Okay, I
stuff.
see. Yeah.
And it's like, this is what we're doing now. Okay.
All right. Because correct me if I'm wrong. You're coming from from the point of view that, well, obviously, whatever you're saying is not with ill intent,
Of course.
and you're not thinking, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna say this to hurt somebody," bro. You're simply saying what needs to be said and the language you know to move your situation and everyone around you forward. It's how you see fit.
Right. But
When people receive whatever you say, which I think should be a counter approach too, if we're so, just sidebar, if we're so focused on other people's feelings and what not to say or to say, we can also focus on how people say things and why they're wired to say it, and learning the understanding behind or the discernment behind who's being ill of intent and who's being genuine. That can also be taught if we're trying to be considerate of people.
Yeah.
You can be considerate of a speaker.
yeah.
So, like, sidebar aside, I kind of diverged a little too far. What was I saying?
We were talking about the sidebar too far. The inclusion and how my stance on it was less so of the ill intent, but more so of I'm just here trying to do stuff, and now I'm getting reprimanded because I said something that somebody else feel offended about.
Exactly. And how I was gonna finish that statement by saying it's basically the way they take it. They take whatever you said in a way that you're being ill of intent. That has to be the only reason why they're sending people to HR or doing affirmative or corrective actions, is because you believe, all right, look, your ignorance is causing you to be a problem to the environment. So whether or not you have ill intent, we're taking it as if you do, because that's how it feels to these people, and we're gonna correct you based on those accusations. And that's why they're so extreme. That could be the only reason to me, because if not, it would be more of a conversation like, look, when you say it like this, they don't receive it well, so at the end of the day, it doesn't move forward. Let's try it this way. It never has to be you're gonna learn this course, that course, HR, blah blah.
Yeah, man.
So I see what you're saying to that point.
It's a whole thing. I'm fully and that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to figure out, did school not do enough with history class to learn about other cultures, to learn about now the LGBTQ thing? That's one thing. That's a whole new topic that's been thrown into schools that I'm still like, I don't think we need to be putting that in elementary schools. But we'll leave that alone. When it comes to like other cultures, when it comes to other nationalities and stuff like that, I'm like, I mean, they teach it in schools anyways, and maybe they don't teach. I can't even say they don't teach it enough, but I recall them talking about Africa. I recall them. We took world geography. We talked about Africa. We talked about Italy. We talked about Australia. We talked about South America. We talked about the Caribbean. We talked about all these nations. If the kids ain't learned, the kids ain't learned. And if they ain't learned before, they ain't gonna learn with you putting more stuff in their heads instead of teaching them how to do freaking math and reading.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
So that the inclusion thing, I don't think it's the most optimal way of going. I feel like they believe it. It's close, like it's one step closer to a better learning environment or better knowledge. Or you could be a conspiracist and feel like they're doing it to hinder the future of people, to make them weak. Whichever part, you know what I'm saying? There's people who believe a bunch of different things. But I think overall, to that standpoint, if I'm not going to be a conspiracy theorist, I would say, like, they believe it's one step closer to better learning. But I don't think the way they're going about it, at least, is the best way for to optimize better outcomes.
No. I feel you on that. I think there's a better way to do it. And when you're, I don't know, and it's definitely weird when it's implemented in the workplace. Yeah. But I mean, they do what they do, and this is where we're at. I just kind of like, all right, cool, whatever, I guess, and then just go about my job. But all right, man. So moving on. So next question: did COVID or the pandemic lockdowns make your generation more or less comfortable with staying still?
During the time or for the future? How they act after that time?
Afterwards.
Repeat the first part of the question again.
Did COVID or the pandemic lockdown make your generation more or less comfortable staying still?
More or less comfortable. I think it's kind of split.
Oh yeah.
Because different age groups received it differently. Like if you were super young and you were born into COVID and having to sit still, that's all you know right now. So it's like you've never lived a life of not being still, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it'd be more of a challenge to get to that part. I feel like if you lived not being still before, like you know what it's like before COVID, and then COVID hit, I think whether or not you were being still prior to COVID affects what you do or how you were after COVID. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you were already used to it, maybe COVID didn't change anything. Maybe it made you see a different side of things because now it's like you have no choice, and it made you realize, my choices I've been making. I could have been making different choices to be more whatever. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. To take advantage of it. Majority of my generation that I see and I'm in contact with, I think it made them less comfortable staying still, if that was the correct word.
How did it affect you?
When COVID happened, I was graduating and going into college. I missed my first year of college, bro.
That's great.
Yeah. I didn't want to stay in the crib already. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Nah. So I never really ever had a choice when it comes to being creative with what I do, being still, being not still. But I think COVID only made it a little worse. Like I don't want to sit still. It didn't make me want to keep sitting still or being. What was the correct? I want to make sure I'm using the right words.
Yeah, sitting still.
Yeah. So.
Or comfortable sitting still.
Oh yeah. It made being comfortable it gave a bad taste in my mouth because it's like it's been so long of not doing anything. It's like, bro, I can feel the comfort killing my potential. Like, and I don't like that. As soon as I get the chance, I'm working.
You're doing something.
Yeah. I'm boots on the ground. Like, so for me personally, it made it worse, bro.
So we got a reading over here that 50% of people between 18 and 30 are still living with their parents right now. Pretty sure that's valid. Is that a comfort trap or a smart financial move?
Been waiting for this one, bro. Ooh, did you make this question, gang? Yeah, bro. I got notes on this topic.
Oh my god.
And I'm not even gonna try to be like, all right, yeah, there's this side. I'm just gonna tell my side, bro.
Go ahead. Tell do Dimno.
Yeah, nah, that 100% is a comfort tactic, bro. 100% a comfort tactic, and I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm always open to hearing
Yeah.
different perspectives, but I'm gonna explain why I say that. In my experience, bro.
I feel like I'm gonna understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
being comfortable meant I never had to worry about food being on the table. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I never had to worry about lights going out. Clothes, my parents got it. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, I don't have to touch a bill. I didn't know what a bill was, bro. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to transitioning into manlyhood, bro, that means becoming a leader. And in my experience, in my reality growing up, I couldn't live in that comfort under my parents and successfully learn leadership for myself, to then go on and lead others, bro. And it's not because they were purposefully trying to hinder my leadership potential.
I think it just comes naturally as a parent.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, because I feel like it gets to a point when you have a kid. Now, I don't have a kid, but I would assume it's kind of hard to see your child as an adult, even though it gets to that point. It's kind of gonna be like a late response. It's like, oh, you're this age already. Dang, that's crazy. But because you were doing what you had to do as a parent, raising a baby, it's just protocol. And that's what I would, you know what I'm saying, assume. But I believe it gets to a point where you have to realize, and every child is different. They might reach that level at a different time, at a different age, but there's an age where you need to switch your focus from controlling the situation and the environment for their safety and their benefit and their nourishment, switching that into teaching them how to be better individuals in order to influence their circumstance and the world around them positively. Okay. And that to me takes, like in the bird's nest, they don't fly for their kids, for their baby birds. Like they literally drop them and they fall, and they better learn how to fly, bro. Because if not, it's raps. And as bad as it sounds, for the betterment of the bird society, it's best however it went is how it went. Because if you can't fly, like, we can't do nothing with you.
If you get picked up by the cats.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get dragged down because you can't fly. That just makes us as a race of birds stronger, because the weaker get cut off. Eat or be eaten, bro. What did Haitians say during the revolution?
Cold blood.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like weakest link. Survival of the fittest. And
I'm sure they got a phrase for that.
Yeah, for sure. And so that's what literally fuels my opinion on that, bro. Because I was never gonna be able to learn what I was learning, because they would never. You know, it's hard for Haitian parents to see their children as adults.
Oh,
and suffer. Yeah, both of those, bro. But for the purpose of my point, it's hard for them to see them as adults, because they're still your children. Like, you're my child, and because of that, it didn't encourage me learning or making mistakes or trying to do adult kind of things, even though I was of age. So if I were to stay till 30, bro, I would not be making half the money I'm making now. Forget when I get 30 doing the path that I'm on.
You wouldn't have the drive. I
wouldn't have that drive whatsoever, bro.
I definitely feel you on that. And I'll share a little bit of my situation. Like I mentioned earlier, was I talking to you? Bro, it's tough to remember nowadays. When me and Casey first got married, we spent the first 3 years at my in-laws, because we had no bread, wasn't making enough. I was looking for spots. We was about to get this townhouse, but then still ended up not having enough for a down payment, enough to be approved for a loan. And that was because we were still paying off our credit cards from the wedding. And that took a huge chunk of our debt to income ratio. Excuse me. Not only that, I wasn't making too much. Casey wasn't making too much. So we weren't able to get a place for about 3 years. And the thing that was always important to take note was that I never lived in the comfort that just because I was at my in-laws that I'm okay here, I'm right with staying here. And I was going to ask, but I think there's a difference when it comes to gender. I feel like females, depending on the relationship that they have with their parents, they will be more willing to stay at their parents. Hence, my wife has a great relationship with her parents. She was completely fine with staying. She's completely fine with living with the in-laws like forever. I'm assuming. I, as like you said, man of the household that's trying to leave, that wasn't going to happen. So even though we were here, I put in the most effort that I knew possible to get us our own place. And Casey wasn't even too fond of that idea initially, but I'm like, look, we're married. We need to do our own thing. We need to go out and we need to build for ourselves. We can't. And I don't know if that's an American mindset or if that's just natural, because the whole idea is, like they say in the Bible, you know, a man and a woman will cling together and leave the parents' household. Cool. There is also, back in that day, there's still like a family oriented ecosphere that they have that seem to have worked, that we tend to not do in America, not at least 100%, but it works somehow. The man ends up marrying, maybe it was probably arranged, they ends up marrying, and then they live with the man's family for the most part. I mean, sometimes depending on different, like when it came to, who was it? Isaac, I believe, in the Bible, it was Isaac that had left. Or was it Jacob? I think it was Jacob. Jacob had left. I keep getting Jacob and Joshua mixed up. The one who was named Israel, he had left his father's house, went out, and then he found
that was Jacob.
And then he ended up staying over there with his in-laws and being in amongst their area and stuff until he was able to take them and leave. But for me, the mindset was always, this is not the end point. I didn't take, even when it came to like getting food, like there was a point where I was getting upset of the fact that I couldn't cook because I wanted to make my own food. I wanted to, you know, I mean, we're here, yes, we're under, you know, the household of my in-laws, but I still wanted to be able to do things for myself. I don't know if that's a pride thing or maybe it's just a preference thing, but like I couldn't stay there too long, so I did everything that I could to get the house. Now we ended up getting the house in a comfortable range that we were at, but again, like I was mentioning before, because of property taxes and because of the houses getting reassessed after COVID, the property taxes shot up. It then became unaffordable to where it was like paycheck to paycheck type situation, and that was not okay. And then God just so happened to make things just work out where there was a whole bunch of changes that was happening to where we then, Casey brought up the idea of coming back to her in-laws but then taking over the house. Now, one thing that they say is that, oh, we wanted you to do that for the first place. You guys could have done that in the first place, which I think brings up your point. Had I not left, I wouldn't be where I am out right now. Learned everything that I learned up until this point and gone through everything that I got to. Heck, I probably wouldn't even have had this job, because I got this job because I went to a Bible study that one of my a guy, he was the one that told me about this company at the Bible study at the new church that I go to, because I left my old church because of COVID and understanding that I needed to change some things up. And if it wasn't that whole switch that I had made, and actually the idea of progressing and the needing to progress not only financially but also in my faith as well, I wouldn't have had that job and be at that spot to where I could even come back to this house and take over the house. And now being able to do the things that I'm doing now. So the move was necessary. It was a time period of struggle. Yes, but it was a struggle. That struggling is not bad. People think struggling as a worst thing. And like I was mentioning, when it comes to parents, they don't want to see their kids struggle, which is absolutely fine. But struggle and pain can sometimes be the best teacher. And I always want to encourage, the younger folks. I get this weird feeling like there's so much comfort with the way that they've been raised that challenge is like, nah, never mind, I'll just do something else. And it's like, bro, we didn't even try, we didn't even attempt, we didn't even break a sweat, and you're already giving up. And it's like, it pains me, but I don't know, I say that, yet I'm an individual who's in IT, but that wasn't my original major. My original major was in mechanical engineering. I failed pre-cal 3 times. I was like, you know what, maybe this isn't for me. And I gave up. But those were 3 math classes that I tried, and for some reason I just couldn't pass. My studying habits was also trash, but it wasn't like off the first attempt that I just gave up type thing, which is what I'm seeing a lot with this new younger generation, where if it's challenging, I'm not even going to touch it. But also to the point, in opposition of what you were saying, I think if the idea is to do better and to get your own thing, you actually have a plan that's in place. You just need somewhere to stay for the time being, and it's like cooked in your mind that this is temporary, and you don't even operate as though this is somewhere for you to get comfortable with. Like there was stuff that we had in this house from the wedding I refuse to unpack. Because I'm like, if you unpack it, then we're going to get comfortable, and then we're not going to leave. Keep that sucker packed up.
Yeah.
So as long as we have that, as long as individuals have that mindset, I think it's okay, because you could save a lot. You could save a lot and be able to come up with your own down payment if your parents can't do it for you. Come up with your own down payment for a house. Come up with your own down payment for a car. Be able to pay off your car a lot quicker. All these things that can help get you in a situation, whereas to you going out and getting your own bills. But again, pain is not the worst thing. Sacrifice isn't the worst thing. You just have to figure out how to manage. And then when things start to hit the fan, again, like when you get in those advice that you're starting to remember, like, I should have done that. At that point is, what's your response going to be afterwards?
Now, see, I can agree with that. This is where I can say I see the point of view. And I 100% agree with that notion or thought process, bro. Is necessary to know, like, to get a good grasp on timing.
Yes.
Depending on where you are and what's realistic, what's in reach, bro. Because, bro, like, I didn't, as hard as I stand on the left side, whatever they be saying, of this question, bro, I didn't leave. I didn't just jump, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because, like, out of instinct or thought, like, as soon as I came to this epiphany that I wasn't going to grow anymore, that's when I decided to jump. Nah, bro. Contrary to popular belief, like, this was very timely, and it was delicately estimated. And I waited. I was super patient. Some people might feel like I was too early. There's another sector of people who are more than likely they're not Haitian, who feel like it was right on time, or maybe even late, depending on how extreme you go. But I didn't ever go like, as long as you know the environment isn't growing you anymore, you just jump. And I've received that advice before, bro. I never decided to do it. I already knew I wasn't going to do nothing like that prior to even receiving that type of advice. All that experience taught me was that people actually believe you should jump as soon as you know what I'm saying, figure something out. Like, nah, it's not financially smart. It's emotionally inclined or emotionally leading. Like, it's unstable. So there's going to be times where you have to stay with your parents because that's the best decision for the time. It doesn't mean you got to be there forever, or it doesn't mean you got to be comfortable. And as far as the question goes, I'm approaching it strong because it's more likely that you're going to be comfortable when you're in that situation than if you were to not let yourself be comfortable. Like, you have to constantly fight your mind and your body and your feelings to remember that there's a goal here, and it's not this per se in this circumstance. Like, I can't get comfortable, but it's good for the time being, or for wherever, however long it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. So with that being said, it seems like there's an actual debate that's online. You kind of answered it, but like in different terms, is staying at home soft, or is it a new wealth building strategy?
It can be both, bro. It can be both. It's soft if you have no goal, you have no ambition, and you have no intention on creating anything. Like, God is the ultimate creator, and he made us after his image. We're little creators. It's part of our purpose. We're supposed to create something unique, whether it's an environment, a thing, a vibe, a sound. We were created to create. So if you have no intention on creating anything for yourself or the people around you, that's a soft, that's soft. That's being soft.
That's soft.
Yeah. That jersey?
Yeah, it's soft, bro. You soft, yo.
That jersey came out, bro. You know what I'm saying? Can't help it, bro. The Yankees in my blood, I guess. Crazy. You know how it is.
Oh, man.
But yeah. And then it can be it's definitely a wealth building tactic. If you got a goal and you communicate it with the landlords, whether it be your parents or your older sibling or a friend that's giving you a favor, bro. I think that the biggest difference is the goal, the intention.